Yo, what's up? So I did a thing, right? And this wasn't supposed to be a thing. So here's what's going on. There's a social media trend that's going on, I think specifically on Twitter, where people are posting things where you had to be there for. And what that basically means is that people are posting vintage things from the past, like from places like Kmart, Blockbuster, shit, even Radio Shack, to moments like, I don't know, 50 Cent versus Kanye. I've seen people post the first episode of One Punch Man, Sharkeisha. Do you guys remember Sharkeisha? But just things that in the moment when you were there, they were spectacular. Maybe if you go back, you're like, you know what? I mean, it's fine. But in the moment, in the midst of the allure, it was fantastic. And so that got me to thinking, what are some of the One Piece moments that you just had to be there for? And the plan wasn't for this to be a video, but I think based off of the negativity that we got from just the Sanji stuff and just the dissension between the community, or just the fans where people like it, some people love it, and they just hate each other for that. And it's like, yo, we gotta relax. I felt like this was a breath of fresh air I had to bring to you guys, because this thread is basically just One Piece fans having a good time, remembering the moments that they experienced these things. So we're gonna look at some of the best ones and just, I don't know, for me, I'll let you guys know my you had to be there moment at the end, where again, it's a bit deeper, because when you're in the community, some moments are a lot more extravagant, a lot more, I don't know, spectacular than if you weren't. Right? And I joined the community, I would say probably 2014, 2013. That's when I started watching YouTube videos, etc. But I started making videos in 2015. So some moments around there or since then have been just a lot more grandiose in my eyes. But some, you know, even by myself and just perusing the comment section, they were major as well. Even being on Facebook, there were Facebook groups that I joined that, you know, used to talk about One Piece. Yeah, that was back in the day. So yeah, we're gonna get to all that. But if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That helps me out a lot. You know, some people, they come, they visit the channel, they watch hella videos and don't even realize that they're not subscribed. Don't be that guy. And, you know, drop a like as well. You know what? But let's get to it. So here's my tweet. What are some One Piece moments you just had to be there for? And of course, there's some things that pop in my mind. But again, we're going to go through some of the best responses and just, I don't know, take a jog down memory lane. This video may be too long, so I might split it up into 2 parts, just because it was a lot of responses. A lot of people interacted with it. So Christian mentioned the 2-week break before we got to see Gear 4. There was 2 weeks of pure speculation and hype. Well, for people, if you remember Gear 4th, after that chapter, we went on break. Like, there was a break for you know, the typical One Piece break, and at the end of the chapter it was just like Gear 4th, right? And then everybody was trying to speculate what the heck Gear 4th was, and I promise you, it was a slew of videos that hit YouTube in regards to speculation, in regards to what a Gear 4th was, right? And from the craziest ideas you can think of, I mean, you just had to be there. GP Rum says nothing happened. Luffy punching Celestial Dragon. Luffy smiling during his attempted execution. Roger starting the Great Pirate Era. All the Straw Hats proclaiming that Luffy will be the Pirate King. So nothing happened. I wasn't a part of the community yet because I was catching up to One Piece, but I remember, because I was watching the anime at that point. That's when I was part of Facebook groups and shit, Oro Jackson, things like that. That's when I rewatched the episode a few times. Then I went to these forums. I went to just see what people were saying about this moment, because I was so blown away by Zoro taking Luffy's pain. Still, possibly, could be the greatest singular moment in One Piece. Possibly. And that's not an exaggeration. Now, Luffy punches Celestial Dragon. That was another moment. Some of the moments that I'm thinking about is moments that rocked the community, rocked the world to the point that everybody was talking about it. Trench Mob 71 mentioned Shanks and the Mary Joys, or Mary Joys during the Reverie. Now, the Reverie had some chapters that people lost their mind. And I remember Shanks being the guy that was meeting the Gorosei disappointed some people, shocked some people, but regardless, everyone was talking about it. That chapter was definitely trending. You know, people pick sides. Whereas like, oh, Shanks is a snitch. Shanks is somebody that we don't like anymore. People were really in an uproar. That was a major moment. And if you were in the community at the time, you understood just how big that was, because Shanks, again, was a lot of people's favorite. He was a favorite to a lot of people. So him being in that position, a lot of people were shocked. She's love itself, my homie. She said when Oda killed my husband, and I know who it is. Spoiler alert, it's obviously it's Ace, right? And I wasn't a part of the community then, but again, I was perusing the comment section. I was in groups and stuff like that. Ace's death was something that shocked me. I didn't expect it to go down that way. And it was a moment, I think, it reminded me of Attack on Titan, when Attack on Titan happened, when Eren died, initially in Attack on Titan. When he died, I stopped watching for a while because I had grown attached to Eren even in that short period of time. And for Ace, after he escaped, I was like, there's no way he's gonna get caught again, right? He's fine, there's no way. And then that happened. Being a part of forums, etc., people were in an uproar because nobody saw it coming, but then it turned into people intentionally spoiling people on what happened to Ace. Like, people going to comment sections. I think I was on like something with Rihanna, and then somebody's like, yo, Ace died. I was like, what the hell does that have to do with Rihanna? But people were just intent on spoiling people, I guess because they were hurt. They wanted people to hurt in that way. It was annoying, but it was a moment for sure. My guy, Sir Townsy, I Want to Live. Now, again, another moment that it resonated based on what Robin was and how she was portraying herself. And initially, I can't lie, when Robin first did what she did, I was like, let her go. She's not gonna disrespect the Straw Hats. Let her go. But in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? We gotta get her back. We gotta get her back. Obviously, she doesn't want to go, right? She doesn't want to go. She feels like she has to. When she said that, I think that was the most emotion we've seen from Robin ever. Shit, that's the most emotion we've seen from Robin ever. Still in 2021, and it was lovely. The voice actor just, it brought out some emotion in me where she, amazing. Aniki Chad, he's highlighting the Zoro moment as well. The nothing at all. You know, I actually plan on getting that tatted on me at some point. I don't know, but it's that iconic. Okay, so spoiler alert. This is my number one, I think, for you had to be there. And that's One Piece chapter 957. 956 gave you that feeling as well. Chapter 957, time stopped. It stopped. That was a boom in the community where, okay, you can just look at YouTube views, right? And look at from reactions to reviews to speculation to explanations, analysis of that chapter. Everything was probably up at least, I would say 100%. At least, seriously. That's how impactful chapter 957 was. Everyone was talking about it. People that didn't even watch One Piece was like, okay, so what happened in One Piece? Tweeting about it because of what happened in chapter 957. If you don't know, that is Rocks, what happened in God Valley, but then the bounties of the Yonko, you know, mention of Shanks' commanders. Bro, 957, that's why I was so excited for it in the anime, which for the anime onlys, they were blown away. But the information we received, probably the greatest chapter. I think the chapter is called Ultimate. Probably the greatest chapter in One Piece. Not the best, the greatest chapter in One Piece history, bar none, in my opinion. King Ace, my guy, says Shanks pulling up on the Gorilla said was insane. Hey, it was a moment. Broxton Lee says week to week when Ace was revealed to be Roger's son at the peak of pre-Marineford hype, and also week to week waiting for 2 weeks to see the reveal of Gear 4th teased at the end of the previous chapter. Community was at peak hype levels. I don't think it's surpassed yet. Now, the community was not, I think, as boisterous as it is now. The Gear 4th wait was a major moment, again, in forums, etc. It was major. Ace revealed to be Roger's son. That's something I experienced by myself for the most part, but it was still talked about a lot. What adds to these things is that there was a wait, and it was a cliffhanger. Sen echoes it, 957. Areski Were mentions a moment that I think is underrated, but a lot of people resonated with this for just how much they fell in love with Bon Clay. And I think for Bon Clay, here's where he became character, I think a community favorite, right? A fan favorite for his sacrifice for the Straw Hats. And people were speculating Bon Clay could join the crew eventually, etc. But I don't know if it was talked about a lot. The funny part, one of my friends is catching up to One Piece. I mention him all the time. He doesn't even know Bon Clay is still alive because he watches the anime. So he's like, oh man, Bon Clay, that was a sad day. I'm like, yeah, yeah, it was. I remember this moment mentioned by Bisoro Mikuma. It looked like Heroes cut off the head of Doflamingo, and there was a break after this. I didn't believe it. Again, a huge Doflamingo stan. So I was like, no way. I was like, guys, there's no way that Kiros, out of all people, just killed Doflamingo. Listen to what you're saying. You're saying Kiros was the one who ended, but I didn't believe it, but it was an amazing cliffhanger. At Sir Toby Love 713 brings up something interesting, the Mugiwara crew entering the Grand Line. That was the barrel, then we had the Laboon stuff. I think that's a personal moment that you enjoy, where everybody kind of reaffirmed their goals and their ambitions. And a special moment to me, and I think to a lot of people, because not the beginning of a journey, but it felt like a beginning of the next chapter. Like they're finally entering the Grand Line. At Ansel Phoenix, my love for Katakuri knows no bounds. And my live reaction is still up for the reveal of Katakuri. It's still up. We're gonna include it here for 5 seconds or so. Commander Dogtooth?
Fuck is that?
Wait, so I guess the dude that got shot is Dogtooth, but someone on the top shot him. Who is that dude? Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh man, I just can't wait. Shit.
Yo!
This is
Yo!
Look at his design, bro.
This design is fucking epic, bro.
Fucking lit.
Look at that bounty. Look at that bounty. Yo! It was, the thing is, it was build up, right? It was build up, and a lot of people were talking about this, man, because this guy, we were like, wait, what did he do? Wait, he can see the future, and he's worth $1 billion. Listen, I can't explain to you guys just how excited I was to talk to people about Katakuri. It was, like I said, the chapter flowed with Jigra talking smack about Big Mom, and then just a jelly bean, boom. Then it just panned to him. I mean, this is the anime, but you went to the next page. It was like Katakuri, Charlotte Katakuri, and then Capone was adding to the hype. It's up there. It's definitely up there for me. At Queen Park C says, oh, you know that one scene that made us all cry like the little bitches we are? You know what? There are a lot of scenes like that. Personally, one scene like that was the Dadan scene. The Dadan scene broke me. It absolutely broke me. And the thing is, the Ace thing didn't hit me initially because I was in the moment. I was still like, all right, maybe he comes back. Maybe he's not really dead. You don't kill Ace. And then after the ESL flashback, you knew Ace more. You had a better idea of who he was. And then him telling Luffy, you know, I'm not gonna die, all that different stuff. Then you go back to him actually being dead. Then you finally go to the Dawn, a Garp going to the island, and then Makino saying that, you know, no one is in more pain than Garp right now. She's like, what? What are you talking about? That's not true. Luffy is in more pain. Then we go to Luffy and he's just in disbelief. That moment, I think, is still one of those moments that when I go back and rewatch it, it gets me really emotional. Because, you know, it was Luffy, his weakness culminated first at Sabaody, but it felt more real at Marineford, because I don't think the Straw Hats were dead. You don't kill all the Straw Hats at one time. Oda would never do that, right? But if Oda had killed every other Straw Hat at that time, I think, first of all, a lot of people would drop One Piece. I can't even imagine. And the fact that I can't imagine it means I should probably talk about that at some point. If all the Straw Hats except Luffy died at Sabaody. Anyway, but Marineford, Ace was gone. He was gone. The brilliant older brother who seemed to be better at Luffy than at everything was gone. Insane. King Recon, my boy at Yoshida Shoyo. Now, time skip. I want to say, man, it felt like 6 months, but it's probably like 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. And I was caught up at the time. That was arduous, waiting for the time skip. But when we went back and we saw Luffy again, the return to Sabaody, man, I can tell you guys just how much people are talking about what is going to happen. How strong will Luffy be? What will change? You know, Blackbeard. What's going to become of the world? The Marines. I still say One Piece has the best time skip and the most perfect time skip. Like, everything culminated at Marineford and you felt like a change had to happen, and change happened at every level. Revolutionaries to the world government to the pirates. I don't want to overlook some of the more recent things for some new One Piece fans, right? Because some of these recent moments you had to be there for as well. And one moment he's pointing out is with Oden. And this is after Oden came back to Wano and Wano was going through a lot. Toki had her scar. And we were hoping for Oden to do something major. The thing is, there was dialogue coming out or news coming out about what would happen, how amazing these chapters would be. Then there was a mention of the Hour of Legend. The Hour of Legend we assumed was Oden versus Kaido. I think for the majority of the fan base, a very underwhelming chapter. For me as well. Chapter 970, I believe, didn't hit. It didn't hit. It had a great moment where Oden sliced Kaido, but just how it flowed, it didn't hit. A lot of people echoed that sentiment, but we were wrong. That was not the Hour of Legend. The Hour of Legend was Oden single-handedly holding up his scabbards for an hour in boiling hot oil. Not water, oil. And surviving for that amount of time to save his people. For the flashback, seeing just the visceral comments and just how many people were upset at what happened, to see them come around to say, you know what, we were wrong. You had to be there. At They Adam said the return to Sabaody, I was a weekly reader and we hadn't seen most of the crew in 2 years of real world, so the time skip joy was natural and real for the fans. A close second is the Vivi Salute, also reading it weekly at the time. Yeah, so you've been reading One Piece weekly for a long time, Adam. Shouts out to you. There's still people that are commenting on this post. I'll try to get some of these new people. The return of Sabaody, like I mentioned, spectacular. It was a long break. I was really excited to see the crew again, see the new designs, see how strong they had gotten. That was peak, man. That was peak One Piece, man. And of course, the Vivi Salute. I wasn't weekly at the time. I was catching up. So, but it was still a great moment because I want to Vivi to join the crew. Somebody put Kuma versus Gekamori. Now, I gotta say, this dialogue is something that people should go back and reread because it was very good. I went back and reread it recently. I was like, whoa, I don't remember it being this good. But Kuma, man, a very underrated character. I saw this as well. This is beautiful, like real life depictions of what these characters would look like, and I think this was spot on. Just completely off topic, but I was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I think Aokiji is a little, you know, he looks a bit different, but I think this looks really good. It looks really good for what Oda was going for as like these characters and what they would look like their actual real life counterparts. It looks amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good. Galathasi Rob says reading weekly during Enies Lobby was an incredible experience, especially when Luffy busted out Gear Second for the first time. The whole P community back then was basically forums and nobody knew what to expect. I think what occurred exceeded everyone's expectations at the time. Yes, so Rob can, you know, echo my sentiments of it being mostly forums back then, and Gear Second was a moment. Again, I wasn't weekly here yet, but what I did was from major moments, I went back and tried to find anything I could in regards to discussions about these moments. And it was a lot. It was a lot about Gear Second. It led to a lot of speculation about how many gears Luffy have. You know, moments like that, it leads to a lot of discussion, and Gear Second did that. Trafalgar D. Angel at Cremated Angel says, the winter of One Piece 1000-1003 is a feeling that a community will never have again. Now, chapter 1000 to 1003 is recent, right? We're at 1005 now. It's fresh, and that's why I think it resonates. But as a community, I think that's one where, of course, there was some dissension because some people felt like chapter 1000 wasn't as good as people expected it to be. But overwhelmingly, we came together. There was a popularity poll. It was One Piece logs, One Piece 1000 logs. It was just a moment, a culmination of people understanding that this was a milestone. And Luffy and the Red Rock punch on Kaido going forward with how Zoro was showing out, Killer showing out, you know, Kid and his suplexes. It was something that we had speculated for so long, and we tried to see or to picture these things happening. It finally happened. It finally happened. Like the spread with Luffy, the Supernova versus Kaido and Big Mom, it doesn't feel real even to this day because we have so much fan art of it. Now seeing it, we're here. And you know, it makes me happy, but it also makes me sad because there's going to be a time where weekly we will not have One Piece to enjoy. And we're going to have to go back and reread and talk about things that's happened in the story, speculation as to what could have happened. That's a reality for me, and I'm not ready to accept that based on what One Piece means to me. That's why I enjoy this thread so much. And again, this is probably going to be a two-part video. We're 30 minutes in. This is why I enjoy this thread, and this thread is just so amazing to me, is that people just fanning out, especially off of the Sanji stuff and just how much came from that. People just talking about how much or the moments that One Piece impacted them. Now, I don't know, or I can't think of any other series in which we could do this, where you just had to be there. Maybe Dragon Ball, but I don't think any series can compete with One Piece when you think about moments that resonate with you. It's untouched. Ink says, when do you think people die? There's a distinction between you had to be there, whereas those moments, they're captured in time, and moments that for you, they're captured in time. This isn't one of those moments that resonated throughout the community because the community wasn't as, again, big as it is now. Forums and stuff like that. This is early One Piece, but it's still a very important moment in the story. Matthew_Moreno mentions or shows the gif of Rayleigh pulling up to save Zoro from Kizaru. Wasn't weekly yet. Started becoming weekly in Marineford. Yo, I think any mention of the Pirate King and the Pirate King's crew is an amazing moment, but seeing someone from the Pirate King's crew back up the hype, validate the Dark King epithet, I mean, I can't explain to you how it felt, right? You just had to be there. Because before this, Shaki said that he was 100 times stronger than everyone else there, than the Stryads. She was talking to them. And then we had the Conqueror's This validated Ray. This was a Navy admiral that he just blitzed and kicked away his light. What? Come on, man. Matthew also posted Heaven and Earth, and that's when Whitebeard completely just shifted Marineford. Again, this was I was almost weekly here. Almost. I couldn't believe it. And even Whitebeard's entrance. Like I said, like those span of chapters, man, it brings out the fan in you and you just learn to appreciate just how amazing it is, bro. Holy crap. Bailey mentions chapter, was it 903? Luffy getting the 1.5 billion berry bounty. A moment. And I think this is one of those where everyone was talking about it. The community was in an uproar because Luffy had eclipsed 1 billion, but not only eclipsed 1 billion, he got to 1.5 and was almost unofficially, officially declared the 5th Yonko. And I can't tell you how much discussion that led to, because it led to a lot. A lot of people were talking about it. Some were happy. Some were upset for whatever reason, because some people felt like Luffy didn't deserve it. Initially, I was on that train that Luffy wasn't necessarily ready to be a Yonko. Of course, now I'm like, nah, Luffy's a Yonko. Forget all that. He's a Yonko. Ace Firefist mentioned Red Rock. I mentioned that earlier. Okay, the Fork is Dub was my first introduction to One Piece. As trash as that entire thing was, the opening song is one of the best One Piece openings ever. Ya yo, oh oh. I'm sorry. It's a meme. Right? Look at it. Cigarette, right? No, a goddamn lollipop. They turned Sanji's cigarette into a lollipop. It was atrocious, but it was hilarious, right? And I think because of this introduction, turned me off from One Piece initially, but I'm glad I gave it another try. But yeah, thank you guys. This put me in such a good mood, man. I'm gonna go watch some One Piece right now. It's just, holy crap, man. Guys, give me your thoughts again. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDH. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.H. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate all you guys so much. Guys, catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost. I rewrite it.